anyone actually believe that Leslie Thomas had turned over a new leaf? If you bought into her tearful hospital apologies and her sudden declarations of eternal gratitude toward Catherine Cat Richardson, you have officially been played. The writers of Beyond the Gates just delivered a masterclass in psychological villainy, proving once again that a leopard never changes its spots, especially when that leopard is driven by deep-seated jealousy and an insatiable need for control. The recent events surrounding Kat's welcome home party and the devastating fallout at Garland Memorial Hospital have completely shattered the illusion of a reformed Leslie, plunging the Dupree and Richardson families into a brand new era of chaos. Let us set the scene for what was supposed to be a heartwarming, triumphant moment. Cat Richardson, the reluctant hero who literally risked her own life and suffered severe medical complications to donate a piece of her liver to her bitter rival, Eva Thomas, is finally coming home. The Dupree mansion is buzzing with joyous anticipation. Family members are gathered, smiles are plastered on faces, and the air is thick with the kind of celebratory relief that only comes after a near-death experience. Tomas Navarro, riding high on a wave of desperate romance and perhaps a misguided sense of timing, has orchestrated this massive surprise. He is ready to drop to one knee and ask Kat to be his wife in front of everyone she loves. It is supposed to be the ultimate fairy tale ending to a traumatic nightmare. But lurking in the background of this picturesque family gathering is Leslie Thomas. And this is where the brilliant, twisted psychology of the character truly shines. You would think that a mother whose daughter was just saved from the brink of death would be overflowing with genuine grace. But for Leslie, gratitude is a transactional burden. Watching Kat become the absolute center of attention, hailed as the selfless savior of the family, is a slow-acting poison to Leslie's ego. The green-eyed monster does not just rear its head, it completely consumes her. In Leslie's warped mind, how dare Kat get a fairy tale proposal and a happily ever after while Eva is still in the fragile stages of recovery? The sheer audacity of Kat being happy before Eva is entirely unacceptable to her. What happens next is a moment of pure, campy, unadulterated soap opera brilliance. As Tomas is distracted, perhaps adjusting Kat's pillows, helping her settle onto the plush living room sofa, completely focused on the woman he loves, Leslie makes her move. With the stealth of a seasoned pickpocket and the malice of a true villain, she slips her fingers into Tomas's tailored coat pocket and extracts the expensive diamond engagement ring. It is a split-second action, a sleight of hand born not out of financial desperation but out of pure spiteful vindictiveness. She does not steal the ring to sell it. She steals it to detonate a bomb in the middle of the Dupree living room. And detonate it does. Imagine the sheer, unmitigated horror of what unfolds next. Tomas steps back. The room goes quiet, and the anticipation reaches a fever pitch. He drops to one knee, looking up at a completely ambushed and horrified Kat. He begins his heartfelt speech, uttering the words, "Will you do me the greatest honor of my life?" His hand dips into his pocket to produce the grand symbol of his devotion. But there is nothing there. The panic that must have washed over Tomas's face is palpable. The frantic patting of his pockets, the sudden break in his voice, the terrifying realization that the centerpiece of his grand gesture has vanished into thin air. The proposal instantly transforms from a romantic milestone into an agonizingly awkward disaster. The collective gasp from the Dupree and Richardson families echoes through the mansion. Kat, who was already visibly uncomfortable and horrified by the public nature of the proposal, is left staring at a man kneeling with an empty hand. It is a scene of utter humiliation for Tomas, a devastating blow to his pride and his deeply romantic intentions. And standing just outside the immediate circle of chaos is Leslie Thomas. She is not gasping. She is not helping to search for the missing jewelry. She is watching the spectacular train wreck unfold, a triumphant, wicked smile playing on her lips. In that single moment, she has successfully stolen Kat's joy, humiliated Tomas, and thrown the entire family into a state of bewildered panic. She silently vows that she will never let anyone in the Dupree family live in peace. But the drama does not stop at the Dupree mansion. Oh no, the universe has a funny way of balancing the scales, and Leslie's moment of triumphant sabotage is quickly followed by a crushing defeat of her own. Over at Garland Memorial Hospital, the landscape of power is shifting. "Doctor, Monica McCormick, the newly appointed chief of staff stepping into the mess left behind by the plasma ring scandal, is cleaning house. And her first target, the free clinic funded by Leslie Thomas. Dr. McCormick coldly and professionally informs Leslie that the hospital is officially terminating its agreement with the clinic. This is a monumental blow. For Leslie, the free clinic was never just about philanthropy or helping the less fortunate. It was her golden ticket to high society, her way of buying respectability and proving to the Fairmont Crest elite, especially the Duprees, that she was a woman of substance and power. With a single administrative decision, Dr. McCormick strips Leslie of her newly acquired social armor. The philanthropic mask shatters into a million jagged pieces. The reformed woman narrative is instantly dead and buried. How does Leslie react? With the predictable, terrifying paranoia of a cornered narcissist. She does not view this as a business decision or a consequence of the hospital's restructuring. In Leslie's mind, there is only one logical explanation. The Duprees did this. She fully believes that the Dupree family orchestrated the termination of the clinic to punish her, to keep her in her place, and to strip away her dignity. This perceived slight acts as the ultimate catalyst. If the Duprees want a war, Leslie is more than ready to give them one. All bets are off. The gloves are not just off, they have been incinerated. Instead of returning the stolen ring or pawning it for cash, Leslie makes a far more diabolical choice. She holds on to the diamond ring, keeping it as a twisted trophy of her successful sabotage. But stealing the ring was only phase 1 of her retaliation. Phase 2 is where Leslie proves she is a master manipulator of public perception. To inflict maximum damage, Leslie begins to plant a vicious, highly calculated rumor throughout Fairmont Crest. She starts whispering into the right ears that there was no thief. She spreads the narrative that Kat Richardson herself orchestrated the disappearance of the ring. Why is this rumor so incredibly dangerous? Because it is rooted in a highly plausible psychological truth. Let us analyze this from the outside looking in. Everyone in that living room saw Kat's face when Tomas dropped to one knee. She was not crying tears of joy. She was horrified. She felt ambushed. She and Tomas had not even moved in together. And suddenly, she was being pressured into a lifelong commitment in front of a live audience of her relatives. Leslie weaponizes this hesitation. The rumor she spread suggests that Kat realized Tomas was going to propose, panicked, and staged the lost ring scenario to avoid having to reject him publicly and crush his fragile ego. It is a stroke of evil genius. By spreading this rumor, Leslie accomplishes multiple devastating goals simultaneously. First, she completely deflects any potential suspicion away from herself. Why would anyone look for a thief if they believe the bride-to-be hid the ring herself? Second, she paints Kat as a manipulative, cowardly schemer, effectively tarnishing the saintly savior halo Kat has been wearing since the liver transplant. Third, and perhaps most destructively, she plants a seed of toxic doubt directly into Tomas's mind. Think about Tomas Navarro's current mental state. He is a man who just suffered the ultimate public humiliation. His grand romantic gesture blew up in his face. His ego is bruised. His confidence is shattered, and he is desperately looking for answers. When this rumor inevitably reaches his ears, how will he react? Will he trust the woman he loves, or will his insecurities take over? The idea that Kat went to such extreme, deceptive lengths just to avoid marrying him is a narrative that could completely destroy their relationship from the inside out. Tomas's pride may not be able to handle the possibility that Kat engineered his humiliation to save herself from saying no. This entire sequence of events highlights the absolute brilliance of Beyond the Gates character writing. Leslie Thomas is not a villain who relies on physical violence or cartoonish schemes. She is a psychological terrorist. She understands the cracks in the foundations of her enemies' relationships, and she knows exactly how to apply pressure until those cracks turn into gaping chasms. She uses the truth, Kat's genuine reluctance to be proposed to sell a massive, destructive lie. As we look ahead, the implications of Leslie's actions are staggering. The Dupree and Richardson families are currently celebrating, completely unaware that a venomous snake is moving freely through their grass. They believe the missing ring is a bizarre accident, a stroke of terrible luck. They have no idea that the woman who just tearfully thanked them for saving her daughter's life is actively working to dismantle their happiness piece by piece. How long can Leslie keep the diamond ring hidden before someone stumbles upon it? Will Eva, who is currently recovering and feeling immense guilt over Kat's sacrifice, discover what her mother has done? If Eva finds out that Leslie sabotaged the woman who saved her life, it could permanently destroy their mother-daughter bond. And what about Kat and Tomas? Can their fragile, blossoming romance survive the weight of this humiliation and the toxic rumors swirling around them? Tomas was already acting out of a desperate fear of losing Kat. This disaster might push him over the edge into full-blown paranoia. Leslie Thomas has officially declared a shadow war on the Dupree family. She is armed with a stolen diamond, a shattered ego, and a burning desire for vengeance. The changed woman was nothing but a fleeting illusion, a temporary mask worn only until it was no longer convenient. The real Leslie is back, and she is more dangerous, more petty, and more ruthless than ever before. Fairmont Crest better brace itself, because the fallout from this ruined proposal is going to be nothing short of spectacular. Keep your eyes peeled, because the drama is just getting started, and we will be right here to analyze every single shocking twist.